Hey guys, this is Miss Ross. Okay, so today I'm going to be teaching you about traits, okay? And traits are basically the physical characteristics of an organism, okay? And there's two different types of traits that you can have. Let me grab my markers really quickly. Two different types of traits that you can have. You can have traits that are inherited and traits that are acquired. So on this side, we're going to talk about inherited first. Okay, so inherited traits are genetically passed to you by your parents. So you get it from your mother, you get it from your father, you might get this particular trait from your grandmother, okay? So inherited traits are genetically, that means through your genes. These are genetically passed down from a parent to offspring. Parent to offspring. Okay, so what that means is offspring is like babies. Okay, so if you can have you have parents and you are their offspring. Plants can also have offspring. So like if you have a pine tree, if there's a baby sapling next to it, then that is the offspring. It came from a seed of the tree, okay? So these are inherited characteristics, okay? So physical means like what they look like, and these, they get it from their parents. So let's talk about different types of inherited traits. Okay, so like chances are if you're tall, you got it from your mom or your dad. Chances are is if you have bad eyesight, either your mom or your dad has bad eyesight too. If you have green eyes, probably your mom or your dad has green eyes too. Okay, so you get these inherited characteristics through your parents' DNA, through their genes. All right, so let's do some, I'm gonna put up some examples of different inherited traits. Okay, so the first one I've got here is tongue rolling. Okay, tongue rolling is passed down from parents to offspring. Okay, so what that means is if your parents can roll their tongue, you probably can too. If one of them can't, there's a chance that you might not be able to. So this is called tongue rolling. And believe it or not, some people cannot do this. You either can or you can't. All right, so let's talk about another one that is genetically passed down. All right, here's another one. This is how tall you are. This is your height, okay? Miss Ross is a teeny tiny person, and guess what? My mom is a teeny tiny person too, okay? A lot of you, you see, for example, let's take Shaq. There's probably a pretty good chance that Shaq's children are tall, okay? Because he's tall. Okay, so we got Shaquille O'Neal here who's tapping out at 7'3", and then this here is Snooki. Okay, Snooki is tiny. Height is genetically inherited. It is an inherited trait. You get it through your DNA. All right, here's another inherited trait. We have teeth. Okay, these are the types of teeth someone has. Okay, so humans have this type of teeth. Horses have this type of teeth. This is, I think, a bear, and it has that type of teeth, and a carnivore has this type of teeth, okay? They all have different types of teeth, but they get them from their parents, okay? So, for example, you are never going to see a baby tiger have teeth like this, okay? Baby tigers are going to have teeth like their parents. You are never going to have teeth like that. You are going to have teeth similar to this because you get these teeth from your parents. So I'm going to put this right here, and this is teeth, okay? So this is, oh, of course that's not going to stick because I need it to. Okay, so this is teeth type. All right. Another inherited characteristic is, love this one. This is beak shape, okay? So these, when a toucan and a toucan, when they have offspring, when they make a baby, their baby's going to come out with a toucan beak. It's never going to come out with a, with a beak like a hummingbird. Okay. When an eagle and an eagle make a baby, they are going to have babies with this type of beak, this type of, flesh-eating beak. This is inherited. They get it from their parents. Okay. So an eagle will never be born with a beak like a hummingbird, and a hummingbird will never be born with a beak like an eagle. Okay. So this is beak shape. It is inherited. So inherited things happen in animals too, not just in humans. So this is beak shape. All right. Here is another one. I've got, this is fur length. This is a horse that has very, very long fur on its legs. This is an inherited trait. This horse gets this from its parents, okay? There are long-haired and short-haired horses. There are long-haired and short-haired gerbils, long-haired and short-haired dogs. I have a Chihuahua. My Chihuahua has short hair. They have Chihuahuas that have long hair. Okay, so this is fur length. And whatever the length of the fur, they get it from their parents. It is genetically passed to them. Okay, this is a weird one. These are earlobes, okay? And there are two different types of earlobes. There's attached earlobes and unattached earlobes. These are unattached. You'll notice right here, they kind of dangle, okay? If ears dangle, they are unattached. If they don't dangle, then they're considered to be attached. And this is genetically passed to you, okay? So I'm gonna put this right here. This is ear type. Ear type. All right, got another one here. These are webbed feet. Okay, you are never going to see a duck that does not have these, because a duck and a duck make a duck with webbed feet, okay? This is a genetically inherited trait of all ducks, okay? All birds that swim have these type of feet, okay? And then I've got one last one here under the inherited side. These are seed types, okay? So pine trees are going to have these seed types. If you've got an oak tree is going to have an acorn. But parents and offspring will have the same seed type. You're never going to see a baby pine tree that's going to come out with, that's going to have these types of seeds. Pine trees have this. It is genetically passed down to them from their parent trees. All right, so I'm going to bring this over here and put this right here, and this is seed type. All of these are inherited traits. Okay, so now we're going to come over here to the other side, okay? And these are not inherited traits. These traits are going to be something different. These are called acquired traits. Ms. Ross, what does that mean? Okay, acquired means that these traits come from their environment. They have come about because of something that happened to this plant or animal or organism. Okay, so let's write down the definition. The definition is that let me write that in purple. The definition is that it is influenced by experience, like an experience in the life of the organism, or by the environment. Miss Ross, I don't understand what that means. I'm going to help you. Okay, so first example is this, and you've seen this before, I'm certain. This is pink hair, okay? This is pink hair. There's not a baby on earth born with pink hair. It is not genetically possible to have pink hair. And that is why it is not inherited, it is acquired. It is acquired because this lady went down to her hair salon and said, give me some pink hair. And her hairdresser said, I surely will. And she gave her pink hair. She dyed her hair this color. So her decision to have pink hair was influenced by experience or the environment. She made the decision to change it. She did not get pink hair from her mama. All right, here's another one. This is Scar. Okay, Scar, y'all recognize him from Lion King. So this is, he has a scar. And the reason why he has a scar is because something happened to him. He was not born with this scar. He did not, the day he was born, he didn't have this scar on his face. Something happened. He was probably in an accident or something happened. He acquired this scar. So all scars are acquired. You're not born with them. You don't get scars from your mama or your daddy. Next one is broken limbs. This is a broken tree limb. That tree wasn't like that. It didn't start out that way. Something happened to it. It acquired that broken limb. Now, what probably happened to it is it probably was in a windstorm or a hurricane. But a broken limb is something that happens to a tree. It is an experience or from the environment, okay? And then the last one, and I always have to do this one last because it blows kids' mind. This is a fingerprint, okay? I'm going to tell you something. Listen closely. Shh, listen. I'm staring at you. Listen, listen, listen. Twins have different fingerprints. Twins have different fingerprints. And that is because fingerprints are not from your mama and your daddy. They are not inherited. If they were inherited, twins would have the same fingerprints, like they have the same DNA, but they don't have the same fingerprints. And here's why. We're going to include a video after I talk about this that shows you how fingerprints are made. But basically what happens is when you are inside your mother's belly, your fingerprints aren't there yet. They're just kind of like little flat little pads. And what happens is the fluid inside your mother's womb presses into the little blank pads, and it creates a pattern. So you actually these are formed in your mother's stomach, so they are influenced by the environment of the womb. And that's why twins are different, okay? And like I said, I'll put in a video after this that tells you all about why your fingerprints are actually an acquired characteristic. Okay, so we're gonna label all these. We've got scar, hair color, and make sure that you understand that that means not natural, okay? So if you're a blonde and your mom's a blonde and your dad's a blonde, yes, you inherited that. But blue hair, pink hair, green hair, we've seen it all. Those are not inherited. Those are acquired, okay? This is a broken limb, acquired. And broken limb can also mean like with a human, like a broken arm, that's acquired. And then the last one down here is fingerprints. Fingerprints are acquired. Please make sure your teacher lets you watch the video on how fingerprints are acquired after conception. All right, love you guys. Be sweeties. Make sure you've written all this down. When it comes to getting all this down in your notebook, just make sure that you have that you've listed these things out. I have a student a couple of years ago. Here, I'll show you her notebook so you can see kind of what we're expecting. Just a second. Okay, this is my student from a few years ago. I'll show you kind of what her notes looked like. She had here her physical characteristics, and she just kind of drew a couple examples. They don't have to be big elaborate pictures, but she has here that inherited is genetically passed and acquired is influenced by the experience of the environment. So she's got dimples, bird beak, fur length, leaf size and shape. Then she's got pink hair, scars, broken trees, or piercing your ears. Those are all acquired. Okay, and if you wanted to, you could add piercing ears and dimples, piercing ears to acquired and dimples to inherited. Okay, so just give yourself a really quick, comprehensive kind of list that gives you, you know, what you need to know. All right, love you guys. I'll quit rambling. Bye. Be sweet.